anywhere and to anyone.
Yeah, of course.
To anyone.
Yes.
Regardless of gender.
Yes.
Okay. Gloria, how comfortable are you talking about your period as a young lady?
Well, I'm not very comfortable, but I'm not comfortable at all.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, you pick
1,
1.
probably 0. 1, being the least 1.
1. You're not comfortable talking about with anybody.
Yes.
That's what you mean, with anybody, any gender.
Anybody, any gender.
Why?
Because I'm a very reserved person, so it's kind of related to that. I don't talk about most things, and I feel it's kind of private too, because just some things we should keep to ourselves, and I think this is one of them.
So why would you think that this is one thing to keep to yourself?
Because based on the notion, I just think so, because it's based on what I believe in.
Okay, so it's
personal.
self.
Yes, it's
personal. All right, Ofri, on a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable are you talking about your monthly period?
For me, it depends. It depends on who I'm talking to. And like you said, to gender. If I'm talking to a lady, for example, I think I'll be more comfortable to talk about it. But if it's a guy, then I don't. If I'm close to the person, maybe I can talk about it to some extent. But otherwise, I don't think I would be comfortable. So it depends on who we are talking about. So if I'm talking to a lady, since she would likely understand what I'm going through or the situation, so I think I will be free to talk to her. But if it's a guy, I feel like he doesn't really understand what's up, so I don't think I'll be comfortable talking about it with the guy.
Okay, so just before we go on, I want to clear a few things. Now, as much as this happens every month, it starts at a particular time. Now, they say the world is changing, so it will be earlier, or it seems to be earlier. Puberty seems to come earlier these days for children than it did, a couple years ago. I don't want to stay in my time because that'll make me feel old. So, yeah, it comes earlier for children now. But this part of puberty called menstruation that will take you up until later in life as a woman, say 50s, sometimes, 50s, early, mid, or late, upward, this part would start at some point during puberty. So like not everyone is. I feel like this is common knowledge, but I have to say, like, not a child that was born today menstruates. You would have to grow and hit puberty, and at some point during puberty, you start to menstruate. You start to have your monthly period. And now back to you, Faith. Why are you so comfortable?
Okay,
being able to talk about your monthly period with anybody?
Okay, I'll say first, depends on the type of family you come out from. My own family, we're very, very comfortable talking about anything. So I feel like maybe my parents, they make it feel like it's something to be ashamed of or embarrassed about. We'll talk about it. My brothers, they buy me pad, my mom, my dad. So to me, it's very, very normal.
It's very normal. And you think that it has a lot to do with how you grew up and how you were introduced and how, it was easy for you to talk about those things even within your family scope?
Yes, communication.
Okay, so back to you, Gloria. Why are you not aside from, you said self, because you think it's private use. Is there any other feeling attached to why you don't like to talk about your period with any and everybody?
Well, there's no other feeling. I just don't feel comfortable about it. That's just all.
Why don't you feel comfortable? I mean, there's something that should make you not feel comfortable about talking about it.
There are so many things I don't talk about. I'm a very reserved person. That's where it just boils around. Just that.
Okay, so it's your reservation.
My sisters talk about it.
Okay, so you just don't.
I just don't talk about it. My mom talks about it at home, but I think it's personally based on the way I am. That's why. Okay,
so it's self. So offering back to you, you are somewhere in the middle. It's either you are talking, depends on the gender, and depends on how close you are with the person. So why are you having these reservations? Why can't it just be everybody or nobody?
Okay, well, I feel like when you have people you have different mindsets. So people have different approaches to life, different ways they see a particular situation. So for me, some people might see it as a normal thing. It's just period. Like, it's no big deal. So to some other persons, it's like, it's this sacred thing that shouldn't be talked about every and anywhere. So if I come to understand that you are this person that to some extent you feel it can be talked about, like you embrace the idea of it being discussed, of course, why not to talk about it? But then if I come to understand that you're still at that end where it's a sacred, holy thing that should be kept to you and you alone.
Okay, so this is a free for all questions. Can somebody just pick this question and answer it? Is the period sacred, holy, and sacrosanct, or it's just common? It's just as common as taking a dump.
Exactly.
So where do you stand? Is it sacred? Is it holy? Is it sacrosanct? Is it?
It is biologically normal. As a lady, for you to be normal, you should see your period every month. Otherwise, I think we should check to know if there's something wrong with you. Like, it's something that is normal.
So you see, this is where the dilemma is. If it's so normal, why are women, especially young women, even older women, not able to freely talk about it?
Okay, first,
I mean, you just said it's normal for you. So why do you think that people like Gloria exist?
Okay, because in a way, not really sacred. Okay, but I feel it's something personal. Why do people talk about this in public?
I mean, so let's talk about why people might want to talk about it in public. There is a part of it that comes with it. Now we're just talking about it like, oh no, it just comes easy and and free. You just have to deal with it. Yeah? But okay, so you're just talking about it like, it's easy and free. But no, for some people it comes differently. There are some people who have said over years, I was seeing this thread on Twitter and I was reading through it and even I was shook. It was describe your period cramps. All right? Describe your menstrual cramps as a woman. And I was seeing something. Someone said, she's always somewhere between the hospital and just wanting to die. Like that's how it is. Like somewhere between the hospital to save her life, or that's how she's feeling, or just wanting to die. Some people say, oh no, it's not really physical for me. The discomfort is not really physical. Sometimes it's psychological, the mood swings, like I said before, those few days where any and everybody could be a possible murder victim. Like you are just getting these mood swings, you're psychologically unbalanced, you're having great highs and very lows. When it's high, it's high. When it's low, it's too low. Some people battle depression during this period. They just have like a depressive episode. Some people are, manic during this period with unexplainable rage. Some people have pain that sometimes they have to go to the doctors for. So this is why people might want to talk about it. Now, an example is someone working in an office, a woman working in an office, and on this day, say you come into work and you think, oh, it's something that I can manage. And it turns out that it's not manageable. Because just like they say, every pregnancy is different. Every monthly period is different. Some people can push through with painkillers that they have to start taking days before. Some other people cannot. Some people, painkillers is just a joke. And the thing is, now you are this person who has medium to very severe period cramps, and you come into work, and somewhere middle of work, you have to go. you cannot function in society. There's some people that are that bad. They cannot function. They cannot be good. They cannot be useful to themselves and to the people around them during that period. And this is one of them that you cannot function. This is one of the times where you cannot function as a human being in that workspace, and you have to go. You know, what then do you say for someone like Gloria? What then do you say when you have to go?
Oh, when you have to go, like really bad, you could say, I'm not well. After all, you're not well. You don't have to make it this kind of thing.
So you're not well with what?
I'm not well. It's a general
Do you have a
sickness.
cold?
I'm not well.
Do you have a headache?
Okay, I have a stomach
Are you coming
ache.
down with malaria?
I have a stomach ache. Can I go home, please?
Okay, so you as an employer, analogy, you're an employer and somebody comes to you and says, I have a stomach ache. You're like, find something to take and still do your job.
Some employers would understand.
You see, some. That's the thing. Like you've not put it into you're not divided the sect. There is some that will understand, and there are some that would say, why not just take something for it? I mean, if it's turning you, if it's whatever it's doing to you, find a solution within the office premise and still work.
Well, you could explain further. Like, I tried this and it's really, really bad. I have to go. Any employer in any organization would understand. Just like you're saying, I'm about to faint if I don't go home, and then somebody says, you have to do this before you go. It's like out of the box.
Okay, so you that's how you say it. Faith, for you.
Yeah.
I mean, you would be comfortable to say, listen, my period is really bad and I have to go. Simple.
Yeah, like I said earlier on, yes.
So do you think that talking about these things will just make it easier for women to deal with these things, especially in the workspace?
Come again.
Do you think that being able to talk about it will just make women more able to deal with these things, especially in the workspace?
Yes, of course.
All right, guys, we'll cut to the music, and when we come back, we'll talk some more, and the phone lines will open just then. This is One Love, Onyeka.